Hello, and welcome to Air Crash Chronicles, the channel that explores the mysteries behind some of the biggest air disasters in history.
Welcome back to another episode of Air Crash Chronicles, the channel where we delve into the chilling details of aviation disasters and the investigations that followed. In today's episode, we are going to take you through the tragic events surrounding U.S. Air Flight 427, a Boeing 737 that crashed in Hopewell Township, Pennsylvania on September 8, 1994. This devastating incident shook the entire aviation community, and its repercussions were felt far and wide. Flight 427 was a regularly scheduled domestic flight, which began in Chicago and made a stopover in Pittsburgh before continuing to its final destination in Palm Beach, Florida. On that fateful day, the flight was carrying 132 passengers and crew members, all oblivious to the impending tragedy that awaited them. As the aircraft prepared for landing at Pittsburgh International Airport, the unexpected occurred. The aircraft's rudder, a crucial control surface responsible for the plane's lateral movement, malfunctioned and went hard over in the opposite direction commanded by the pilots. This sudden and uncontrolled movement resulted in a loss of control, propelling the aircraft into an aerodynamic stall. The flight crew fought valiantly to regain control and recover from the dangerous stall, but their efforts were in vain. The large Boeing 737, with its occupants and innocent lives, hurtled towards the ground in a devastating crash. The aftermath of the crash was heartbreaking. All 132 people on board, including passengers and crew members, tragically lost their lives. This made the U.S. Air Flight 427 crash the deadliest air disaster in Pennsylvania's history, a day that left an indelible mark on the aviation industry. Following this catastrophic event, the National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, launched an intensive investigation, marking the beginning of the longest investigation in its history. The team of experts meticulously examined every piece of evidence, reconstructing the events to understand what led to this tragic outcome. Gradually, the investigation uncovered the probable cause of the crash. It was determined that a defect in the aircraft's rudder power control unit, combined with an inadvertent input from the pilots, resulted in the rudder moving to an extreme position. This unexpected movement caused an asymmetric yaw and ultimately led to the plane's uncontrollable descent. The NTSB's findings prompted immediate action within the aviation industry. Boeing implemented design changes to the 737 rudder system, enhancing its reliability and reducing the risk of a similar incident occurring in the future. Furthermore, improved pilot training programs were introduced to increase awareness and understanding of potential rudder-related emergencies. The tragedy of U.S. Air Flight 427 served as a poignant reminder of the importance of investigating and understanding the root causes of aviation accidents. The lessons learned from this disaster continue to shape the safety protocols and advancements in the aviation industry, ultimately making air travel safer for all. After the crash, Flight 427 became the second deadliest accident involving a Boeing 737 at the time, ranking now as the 9th deadliest. It was also the 7th deadliest aviation disaster in U.S. history, and the deadliest involving a 737, now ranking 11th. The accident was U.S. Air's 5th crash between 1989 and 1994. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania spent approximately $500,000 for the recovery and cleanup of the accident site. Initially, the FAA disagreed with the NTSB's verdict on the cause of the crash. However, they changed their stance after a special task force identified 46 potential failures and jams in the 737 rudder system. The FAA then requested Boeing to redesign the rudder for all 737 aircraft, affecting over 3,400 planes in the US alone. US Air recommended that pilots receive training on crossover speed and recovery from full rudder deflection. Pilots were advised and trained on dealing with insufficient aileron authority at lower airspeeds. Boeing believed that the co-pilot mistakenly deflected the rudder in the wrong direction during a panic and maintained this input until impact. Boeing agreed to retrofit the entire 737 fleet worldwide with a redesigned rudder control system. As per the NTSB's recommendations, airlines were required to add more channels of information into flight data recorders to capture pilot rudder pedal commands. The FAA set a deadline for airlines to comply. Former investigator John Cox confirmed that no additional rudder reversal incidents have occurred since Boeing's redesign, validating the NTSB's findings. After the accident, US Air changed its approach and started treating crash victims' families more sensitively, as mandated by Congress. US Air also stopped using Flight 427 as a flight number. The crash, along with another fatal US Air crash 2 months prior, contributed to the financial crisis the airline was facing at the time. Memorial. The crash site itself, located near the Aliquippa exit of I-376, is located on private property. The road that is needed to access the site is accessible only to 427 Support League and Pine Creek Land Conservation Trust members. 3 tombstones are located at the Sewickley Cemetery, 10 miles, 16 kilometers, from the site of the crash and within the flight path of US Air 427. That concludes today's episode of Air Crash Chronicles, where we unveiled the heartbreaking story of US Air Flight 427. Remember to hit that subscribe button and activate the bell icon to stay updated on future episodes.